What's up, you guys? Hey, how's it going? So, sorry that I have started a little bit late than I would like. If you guys are just now watching this right now, it's 15 minutes into the stream. I started kind of late because I hit play before being actually fully ready. So, if you guys are watching this without a sub, I apologize, but a ad is probably running right now. If you guys are here watching this with a sub, thank you for sticking around. And for anyone who's new to the channel, thank you as well. So, okay, it's been a few days, right? It's been a few days since the last stream. Last stream was on Friday. We were playing Halo 3. I was in a food coma. And I basically didn't play as long as I wanted to for Halo 3. That we will pick up more Halo 3, though, on Friday. But for now, it is a busy week. A very busy week for gaming, and tonight's game is going to be Can I Bridge the Spirits. However, I do want to get some stuff out of the way. We got the AC fixed today, you guys. Yes, finally, thank God. Praise the sun, ladies and gentlemen. The AC is fixed. We have a working air conditioner. The air is being filtered, normal annoying fan in the background during my streams. However, it's cold as hell outside. So there's no point in having AC on whatsoever. So it's been cold. That's why I'm wearing this long sleeve sweater, my soy sauce Dragon Ball Z sweater, as I would like to call it. And it's been cold for the past week, and it's going to continue to get cold. So thankfully, though, since the AC is fixed, we're able to use the heater. That's the way the house is over here. We have a very old school heating and air conditioning unit. And basically, in order to use the heater, we need to have a working AC because the AC has to pump out the air with the heat. So, and also be able to filter and everything. So, thank God the AC is fixed, so now we can use the heater going forward for the rest of the winter for the next 5 months. Oof. But I'm cold. I'm freezing right now. So, I got my hot coffee right here. I'm wearing my sweater. I may get my blanket that's behind me over here. And all that. But how was your guys' weekend? What did you guys do all weekend? Did you guys have an exciting time, a relaxing time? Did you guys travel? Did you go on trips? Let me know in the comments, because for me, what I did this weekend was, well, I picked up Metroid Dread. So there you go. I actually picked up the hard copy, and I cannot praise this game more than enough. It's if Ty's here, Ty, you probably see me praising this on your own Discord and stuff. And I've been asking around, have you guys got Dread? Have you guys played it? And like that to my friends and family and people who have Switches and stuff. And what's wild is that if I talk to somebody who has it, they finish the game completely and then they don't really talk about it. Or I'm talking to people who have Switches and stuff, but they don't have the game. So I'm kind of I can't discuss this game with you. So in a way where you'll understand what I'm talking about. So if you guys are here, you guys play Metroid Dread, you come to the right place. And we're going to talk about Dread for a couple of minutes. Maybe 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. And so, before I start the Dread conversation, for anyone who did donate, whatever, for the past couple months towards my AC, thank you guys so much. Love you guys. You guys made this possible in order to have that working AC and actually have breathable air in the house again instead of just using smoke air from the outside and stuff. So, thank you. But, okay, back to Dread. Back to that Dread talk. I'm dreading it. No, just kidding. Metroid Dread is a very interesting game. It's a 2D game. I'm not really a fan of 2D Metroid, if that makes... Just put that out there. I love Metroid Prime. I liked Other M for, the action-y parts and stuff, and the fact that you could change perspectives and all that stuff. But straight-up Metroidvania-style difficult games, I'm not really a fan of. I wasn't really a fan of. I have Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I played it, but it didn't really click with me. I'm more the old school Castlevania fan, the ones before that, where it's more linear, straightforward Castlevania kind of thing, like the original Castlevania or Lords of Shadow and stuff like that. But 2D back and forth Metrovanias, as they call them, I'm not truly a fan of it. I'm more or less I like straight to the point kind of games. I don't like to backtrack, go around, ever do everything. And so I picked up Dread with, Dread, because I was like, I may not enjoy this game. Like, I'm getting it because of the hype. I'm getting it because it's Metroid, it's Samus. Like, it's been so long since we had a Metroid game. And also, I needed something new to play on the Switch, too. Like, I needed something legit brand new on the Switch that I will enjoy that as first party, in a way. And so, Dread came out, pre-ordered it, and played it. And I got it on Friday, and wow, so Friday before the Halo stream, I actually played for 5 hours. I didn't realize I played for 5 hours. I legit I sat down, like I got like around like 1 p.m. something like that, and I sat down and I was playing. I was like, okay, I'll probably play this for like 2 hours and then go take a nap and go do something else, eat dinner, and then get ready for the stream that night. And I sat down for 5 hours playing Dread, and I didn't realize time went by. Like, it gave me, Dread gave me a sense of, like, you know how it is when, like, back in the day, back in the early, late 90s, early 90s, when you got a video game, you would, like, sit down and be really excited for it, and that would be all you would play. That's all you would play, that's all you would lose track of time and all that stuff. That's the sense I got with Dread. Like, Metroid Dread gave me that feeling, and I haven't had that feeling in over 20 years. Like, not since Blockbuster closed. So, with Dread, like, I actually sat down and I truly enjoyed the game. Like, that I liked the atmosphere that was in it. Even for a 2D game, there's atmosphere, the combat, the controls were so fluid for a 2D game. Like, I was like, wow, this is really fluid controls for Metroid Dread. And then, like the countering, shooting the missiles, going into morph balls and stuff. And, like, I thought I knew what I was doing as I was playing. And then I encountered the first Emmy. Emmy is, like, this robot that chases you throughout the game. There's 7 of them in the game. And you can't hurt them until, like, a certain point as you progress through the stages, or the areas. And they basically act like, the best way I could put it is, like, think Resident Evil 3's Nemesis. So in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, like the actual Nemesis, you'll have a fighting chance. You can stop him, down him, and run away as fast as you can to get away from him. But in Metroid Dread, you can't hurt them. You can't hurt them or anything like that. You just have to evade, run, get the hell out of the way, and if they grab you, you have a split second to hit the X button to counter. And if you don't counter, they kill you. It's game over. It's literally game over, and it takes you back to the starting location of that area, and you have to get through the whole thing without getting caught. And so I was literally dreading it. Like, that's the best way to put it. Like, I legit dreaded that sections, and then eventually my Resident Evil experience basically kicked in, and I was like, oh, I know what to do. I found the optimal routes and paths and stuff to avoid the Emmys, and I enjoyed it. And then then eventually I kept getting power-ups and abilities and stuff, and I was like, oh, damn, I'm a beast. I'm untouchable. Nothing could hurt me. And then I got a reality check when I went to the first boss. The first boss killed me like 5 times, and I'm like, oh, well, I was like, something that, like, you can't tank your hits. You have to be very precise and very methodical, and you have to, like, legit analyze what's happening in the fight and figure out the patterns and defeat the bosses. And you're going to see that, like, it applies with Kenna as well. And, like, well, when that happened, and then I died, and then I tried again, got to the second phase of the fight, I died, and then I got to the end of the second phase, and then I died again, and then I came very close. Then I died, and then that kept happening like about 5+ times until I finally beat the first boss, and I was like, I had like an epiphany. Like, it felt like I unlocked a new chakra, like a new higher state of mind after I defeated a boss. I was just like, oh, well, I'm untouchable, I'm unstoppable now. I feel like I can take on the world. And this pattern repeated. Like, I explore, get new items, get new abilities, and then I run to the enemy, try to avoid the enemy, but sometimes I would die, maybe 5 times. And then keep exploring, and then you run into the bosses, and then the bosses will kill you. And then it's like this weird, it feeds this addiction in this game, and it's a nice gameplay loop. Like, if you're into games like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Kenna, and Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, like, if you're really into these kind of difficult games, Metroid Dread will be your thing. Like, if you want to challenge yourself as a video gamer, Dread is it. Metroid Dread is the game that you should be playing. It's a sweet spot. It's not too over-challenging, like, say, like a Dark Souls game, but it's not too underwhelming like other modern games where, like, you can easily get through it. This one, there is no difficulty choice. Like, it's straight up on normal, but they still hit hard, you still die. But you're learning, you're adapting, and you're becoming a better gamer in the process. And that's what I love about Dread. If for anyone wondering, I'm talking about this right now. For anyone who's tuning in much right now, I don't know if you guys are here or not, so totally leave a comment. But this is what I'm talking about. Metroid Dread. It just came out on Friday. And it's Metroid Dread is simply it was one of those games that took me back to like the late 90s, where I used to go to Blockbuster and you used to get that one game. Like, you would rent that one game, your parents could tell you, okay, you can rent 2 games or rent 1 game, and I would rent a game and then I will have 3 days to finish it. And so with Dread, it took me 3 days to actually finish it. 8 hours altogether, like around 8 hours give or take altogether, and I finished Dread yesterday at like 5 p.m. And I spent like maybe 5 hours each day getting like it felt like 5 hours, but most likely it was like 3 hours each day getting through stuff. And it was fun. It's one of those games that, like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but it gave me the same vibe of Ocarina of Time. When I played Ocarina of Time and I completed it, I legit felt happy inside. I felt a release inside my soul after playing it. I was just like, yes, like, you know, that the victory thing. Like, if you guys see my channel, I'm kind of like, yes, I literally did that when I was playing Dread and I defeated the final boss. I was like, yes, I did it, victory and everything. And what was funny was these bosses, they would test you. They would test your reaction speed, how good your reaction speed is. Do you watch for patterns? Do you do you know how to mitigate damage? Do you know how to do all these advanced gaming things without realizing it? This game would test you on that. And what was wild is that after I beat the final boss, I felt like I unlocked Ultra Instinct as Goku from Dragon Ball Z. I was legit like, oh my god, I could take on anything. I could face any boss after that final boss fight. Like, because that's how hard the final boss is. Like, it will legit test you, and I wouldn't be surprised if he died about 10 times against the final boss, because he hits hard. Like, the best way I could describe the final boss in Metroid Dread is, imagine you're a level 1 CPU in Super Smash Bros. And you're taking on a level 9 Ganondorf. That's how hard he hits. And you're going to be sent flying and everything. And you have no items or anything like that. It's a straight one-on-one fight. And so, after I finished it yesterday, I was like, oh my god, I could play any challenging game right now. And so what happened was, later on last night, I actually started playing Nier Replicant. I was just like, alright, let's bring it on. So I just went from one challenging game to the next. And then also, late last night, I finally decided to play Metroid Samus Returns. I actually have this on the 3DS. I was playing it, and I was playing it today as the guy was working on the ECs and stuff to make sure everything was working. I was just sitting on the sofa playing Metroid Samus Returns, and it's enjoyable. It's not as advanced as Dread is. Like, Dread has way more advanced controls, but Samus Returns, it's still good. It's still fun. It's actually the game that these guys, Mercury Steam, who made Dread, they made Samus Return a few years beforehand. And so that's how they got the job for this. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I don't know, maybe, like, we'll finish a couple of bosses in Kenna, and then maybe I'll switch over to Dread and show you guys how the game is. I already completed the game, so there is no spoilers, literally. It's like, I'm just like, I most likely could walk around and just look for items. But we'll see. I kind of do want to get further in Kenna, because Kenna has the same vibe. Kenna is in 3D, but the boss fights are, like, the game has the same setup as Dread, but just Kenna's in 3D. It's like easy explorable areas, but then when you enter boss fights, if you don't know your shit, you're gonna die. And honestly, I just love games like that. I love games that make me expand my mind and get me better as a gamer. Because I'll leave you guys with this thought before I switch over to Kenna. Is as a gamer, we owe it to ourselves to challenge ourselves to become even better gamers. And it is, yes, I understand that we sometimes should just play an easy pick up to play game, not stress about it, especially if I have a very long day and there's nothing. Like, you're stressed out and all that stuff, and you just want to relax, decompress. Cool. Totally try out an easy game, play it. There's no harm in that. But at the same time, when you're ready when you're ready for it, when you're ready for the challenge, go and do a challenge. Challenge yourself as a gamer. Play a game like Dread. Play a game like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, whatever it is. Play games that challenge you to get better as a gamer. Because what's funny is there's actually a couple of backlash for that. Like, I was talking to Ty. I don't know if Ty's here, but I was talking to Ty a couple of days ago on Discord, and we were talking about how, like, a lot of people, a lot of journalists, a lot of reviewers, they were complaining that Dread was so hard, and it's not hard. It's not hard. If you are able to push yourself to the point where, like, oh yes, I'm going to learn these fights, I'm going to know what I'm doing, you'll finish the game. It took me 3 days to play it. And, like, if you do the same thing, like, it could take you 3 days or a week or whatever, but it's rewarding. It's as rewarding as, say, playing Hades, really. And, it's just once you figure it out, once you challenge yourself, once you push yourself, there's no hand-holding in this game, by the way. Once you, like, push yourself, you will understand that, oh shit, I am a good gamer. I can take on any challenges. You can literally be the Ganondorf, the level 9 Ganondorf, fighting all these level 1 computers. Like, you can literally be the dude who's like, yo, I am Ganondorf, but I'm gonna fight 7 level 9 CPUs. And go for it. Kind of thing. Yeah, I started preaching. I'm sorry, guys. And also, I sound hype because, well, it's the first stream back. I got my coffee. I've had some rest, and I'm probably gonna be rambling throughout the night. But I'm hype. Like, I'm still buzzed from yesterday. From completing Dread yesterday, my body is still buzzed. It's still filled with that energy. Like, oh shit, I want to take on some challenging fights. So hopefully, kind of gives me that. Because last I left off, we are getting closer to the second actual boss fight in Kenna. And if you guys saw the previous boss fight in Kenna, the previous actual boss fights in Kenna, they are challenging. They are hard. I died like 7 times until I figured out a little trick to make it a little bit easier for myself. Me and Ty were just like, oh shit, as we were watching this happening. Well, I was mostly sweating. But Ty in the comments was like, oh shit, to me. So and so yeah. So there's my praise for Metroid Dread. You've got a Switch, you owe it to yourself to go and pick up this game and play it. Play it and become a better gamer. Like, literally, become a better gamer by playing Dread. And then, also, don't emulate the game. Please do not emulate the game. Like, I know emulation's cool and all with, like, old school outer print games and stuff, but Dread just came out. You want to support Dread so they make more games like this. Nintendo's like, so Nintendo knows, oh shit, we have a hardcore fan base that wants hardcore games. They don't want the shovelware. They don't want the kiddie games and all that stuff. They don't want stuff like that. They want games like this. You want Nintendo to make more games like this. So buy Dread, support Mercury Mercury Steam and Nintendo, and just like support this and encourage them to make more games like this from Nintendo. Because hell, now after I said this, I want a Legend of Zelda game that's just as difficult as this. Anyways, also